Heyo, Foundry community. My name is Michael Leahy. I go by TyphonJS on the Foundry Discord and various communities. Now, I'm the developer of Forien's quest log. I've actually taken over maintaining it since last summer, and I released the 07X series of FQL, bringing many more features and stability and maintenance releases across the V8, the V9, and now the V10 releases of Foundry. Now, I'm really excited to announce the 0710 release of FQL, and it's exciting because I spent like 160 hours over the last 16 days just really making sure it's ready for V10, and added some quality of life features. And we'll talk about some of that in a bit. But the reason why I'm working on Forien's quest log and putting in this much effort is that I'm just trying to build a relationship with the larger Foundry community, insofar that you know that I'm a quality developer that delivers, great experiences for Foundry. And I mean, when I got involved last summer with FQL, I mean, I didn't want to see it disappear. My larger goal is to create a suite of tooling for GMs that helps you organize and run a campaign that's more of an open world style, and a quest log is definitely kind of like a core feature of that. Anyway, I mean, I certainly want to talk about the art and the music that we're listening to. So, like, behind us with the animated scenes, that's James's RPG art, and Yvonne Douche and Tabletop RPG as well provided the music. So, FQL 0710 brings a couple quality of life features, and we're going to go over it in just a moment, but quest document linking is now re-enabled again for the initial V9 release, back in December of last year. I had to disable it, unfortunately, but it's back enabled. 2 community suggestions that came in for that are great, that are small little things, but just improves your experience. You might be familiar with the quest details page where you can show to players, but now you can show the quest log to players and the quest tracker as well. And one more thing with the quest tracker, you can set it to a transparent background. Again, another community suggestion. That was a great idea. So the one thing that I'm really excited about with the 0710 release of FQL is that there's expanded language and translation support. That was one thing that kind of slipped over time with FQL that I never really quite got to put enough attention in. But this release, there's now 14 different languages that are supported, 100% translated. And I mean, I think engaging the international community is really important. And so, the quest log is definitely ready to go in many languages now. And there's a very easy way to actually add additional translations. So get in touch with me if that's something that interests you. Now, I will talk about, the V10 experience and upgrading and the little DB migration step that is in FQL for V10. But more importantly, this release runs on V9 and V10. You don't have to move to V10 right away, and you can still get all the really cool enhancements that are added to this 0710 release of FQL on V9. In fact, I would say make sure all the modules that you're interested in are available on V10 before upgrading. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I am working on a continuation quest log module, but there's no estimated time of arrival for it yet. I am mainly working since last October, almost 11 months, almost a year now, on a very modern UI library that allows you as a developer, any developer too, this is freely available for any Foundry developer, to create more interactive and reactive experiences. FQL might seem like it's reactive, but oh boy, everything is done manually. It's a very complicated application, actually. So this new UI library, I'm really putting in a lot of time on it. And if you're interested in it, get in touch. My Discord server is down there on the left-hand side of the screen. And yeah, I'm just gonna finish that library up, and then really kind of finish off the new quest log. Many other developers are going to be releasing Foundry packages using this library before I get the new quest log out. Actually, I'm really excited about Wasp's new item piles version 2.0 release. It uses my new library, and that's going to be awesome. There's a lot of other cool stuff coming out. Anyway, let's dive in and let's take a look at some of the enhancements in FQL 0710. Thanks. All right, let's look at some of these quality of life enhancements. Now on the left here, I have the game master, and on the right is a player character. The first enhancement that we're going to look at is this show to players button. If you want to show the quest log to players, just gotta click it. It's very similar to the quest details page. There always was a show to players thing up here, and that's great, you know. But it's really nice to be able to show the quest log to players. Maybe you have a player that doesn't know where the button is to launch the quest log over here, but it's very easy as the GM just to go show to players. Now, in a very similar way, the quest tracker also has a little icon up here if you're a GM. So that allows you to open up the quest tracker for your players and not have them have to struggle and find, you know, the quest tracker button over here. Now also remember, I'm just gonna show this real quick. There is compendiums, macro compendiums that you can drag and drop a bunch of different helpful macros onto your hotbar to interactive FQL. So do remember that. It's very handy. So the last little community suggested quality of life enhancement is the ability to have a transparent background for the quest tracker. So that actually is this new button up over here. And we can click, and there you go, it's transparent. You know, it might not work great on all scenes, but it certainly can help depending on what your scene background content is. If it's very light, you know, maybe it's not going to work, but you always have the ability just to toggle that on and off. So those three little tweaks to the UI just add a little extra and a couple extra enhancements for GMs to easier more easily direct your players to what you might be talking about at any given time. The next feature, or I should say the reintroduction of a feature that got removed in the previous 079 release of FQL, is quest entity linking. Now it's probably, you know, called document linking now, but I haven't had a chance to update some of the text behind it. So you can click, you know, right-click context menu, copy entity link. You can go into any of these other any area where, you know, you have an editing field, whether it's in another quest. So yeah, you can just link things again. It's great, you know. I still have it copied here, so I'm just gonna add an objective so you can put it in there. Pretty much anywhere. I mean, it's certainly great to have that functionality back. And the final, and this is what I'm really excited about for this particular release. And that is just the expanded language support. It's really, I really view being able to support the international community and giving them, or just giving everyone, as many people as possible, a native quest log experience that is in your language. Now, keep in mind, all my quests that I have in this current world, all the names and everything are in English. So what's going to change is just the actual UI elements. When you put in your quest data, it'll be in whatever, you know, language you inserted into. That's over in the settings section, configure controls. Oops, actually not configure controls. Configure settings. And under the core section, in the world, you can pick different languages. And so these are all the languages supported. We have Korean, Chinese simplified and traditional, and Japanese. So if we go over here and pick German, hit save, it's going to ask us to reload. And we open up the quest log, everything's in German. You open up a particular quest, and I spent a lot of time making sure every single language translation fit into the UI. And so, yeah, let's just swap to another one here. So Finnish was added, and as well as Italian. So those are the two new languages that are available in the 0710 release. So again, the whatever language that you enter your quest data in will of course show up as that. But yeah, no, I'm excited. This is really cool in terms of just broad ability to engage and have the international community have the quest log in their native language. I would love to add more translations even. And so get in touch with me on my Discord server, and let's make this happen. That'd be great. So the last thing I would like to talk about is the DB migration process. Over on the left, I have Foundry V9. On the right is going to be V10. I'm actually just going to copy a world over from the V9 data directory to my V10 data directory. And I'm just going to actually, off screen, I'm just starting the Foundry V10 server. So it's got it started here. I'm going to be able to reload. Yeah, let's just get rid of this guy here. So you can see it's going to say there's a compatibility warning, and that's the world. And when you try to launch it for the first time, it's gonna give you a message like, "Hey, bud, your world's gonna be migrated." There's a whole new version of the D&D 5e system that we're running here, and it's drastically different. It's gonna do a lot of changes to your data. It's gonna say, "Back up your data." You should back up your data. Think about it. It's pretty important, actually. So let's begin the migration here. And let's log in. And so you're going to see FQL is going to do a little bit of migration here. And what it's doing the migration for is that, say in particular with the D&D 5e system, this new version 2 thing, I'm sure it's improved. I'm sure it's much better. But every single image that was previously in the old D&D system for V9 has changed. And oh god. Getting the discords going here. Anyway, so this migration step, just for the D&D 5e system, I'm able to actually swap out and get the correct images going. But there's also situations where, like, say if you have old quest data that, the quest log, what it does is it has its own database. So there's kind of two layers of caching. The quest DB is one layer where, for instance, over here, I have the Amulet of Plains and Backpack. Those were once world items. So if I go over to my items, they're not here anymore. So if you link them to the rewards, and oh gosh, I still have it in Italian here. It's fine. But or a quest giver, and then you delete that document. That's not going to delete it out of the FQL DB. And So in this migration process, we can take a look here that there were some actors, and then there's also some actual rewards that have to be removed. So if we open up, actually, let's go open up the Barbarian, or where is it? Find the Cleric. Yeah, Barbarian. There we go. So over on V9 here on the left, these two rewards no longer have documents backing them. But when we go over to V9, or excuse me, V10, the migration process will automatically remove them because they're no longer valid. But you're gonna get a message over here in the chat messages to basically tells you which items were removed or which quest giver. So like if we open up Find the Cleric over here, Find the Cleric, we have a quest giver. So if we go over here, there's no longer a quest giver, but that's because the document no longer exists. So there's special handling for the D&D 5e system to update all the system images. And actually you'll kind of notice, like we'll go over here to a Barbarian. So you'll see this image here, and that image is different. Well, that's on V9. That was a system, like an icon that was in the D&D 5e system. It was replaced, and this is like an icon that replaces it. It's the same, well, I mean, same-ish one, but yeah. So if you link to any icons in your splash images, or I mean, all the document items get updated to the correct paths. So that is what the DB migration process does on FQL 0710. So this wraps up the overview of Forien's quest log 0710. It runs on V9 and V10 and provides a consistent experience across both releases. Happy questing!